Betty White is dead. Woo! Bobby, take it.
That's right. Frank's father-in-law may not have outlived Betty White, but he sure did. It's the Pat Oates Show with your host, Pat Oates, and your co-host, Bobby. And joining us tonight, our two guests were voted worst cosplayers at the Harry Potter convention. It's Pete Angelo and Brandon Smith, the warlock.
We'd be like top 5. Come on.
No way.
Okay, you could make a good Hagrid, but it's the Voldemort that I don't think is going to be passable. Frankly, it hurts me to say this, but Brandon is far too good looking to play that character.
But Bobby, if you had to do like a hybrid of like Ron Weasley meets Hagrid, that's Pete.
Brandon looks like he's a professor of the dark art, like defense against the dark arts teacher, like potions.
He's a professor of the fart arts.
I like how Pete wouldn't say Snape, like we were gay baiting him with Harry
arts.
Potter knowledge.
No, Dumbledore's the gay one, not Snape.
Listen, if you're wearing a and I know, Pete, I don't mean it's an insult, but if you're wearing a cloak around kids in a school, you might be gay.
They're all gay. I don't know. They all got wands and.
He was gay, but he was always a man who was attracted to other men who were always men. That's Harry Potter.
Never, no pedophiles going on there. They defended children. They didn't fuck them.
Oh no, I meant J.K. Rowling. No trans in her books.
Oh yeah. She doesn't believe in that. Just warlocks.
In the first,
just the bankers are all fucking goblins and
she's like
whatever Dobie is, but she doesn't believe in transsexual.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, no, people fly around on broomsticks, but man can't be a woman. That's weird.
She believes English people have good teeth, but she doesn't believe in that. It's amazing.
Well, it took magic to fix their teeth.
There is a passage in I think it's a secret Chamber of Secrets in the original draft that got edited out, and like they take this polyjuice potion where they turn like into other people from other houses. And Hermione wanted to take a guy's potion, and like she was like, no. And Harry said no, because that's a sin in the eyes of God, and you should not do that. The editor had to step in and be like, no, I think that's a bit much.
Well, in the original, the Chamber of Horrors, I don't think it's one. The Order of the Phoenix Suns. In that one,
was it fried chicken?
The original name of Hermione was Hismione, and they were like, no, it's Hermione. That's what we're doing here. Or Hermione was the other one. They're like, that's too risque.
I haven't really even seen any of the Harry Potter stuff, but I'm like
ever
but I'm a giant Lord of the Rings fan, like to the point where before this podcast, I was listening to an audiobook called The Silmarillion, which just
it's all about the backstory of everything.
I'm fucking enthralled. Yeah, because there's so much, I don't know. It's like the Bible. There's so much good stuff in there if you don't take it literally. Ooh, did I say that?
You did. How dare you? No, Bobby's going to fucking throttle you because Bobble likes the Bible.
No, I do. I like it too, but I just don't take it as literal.
No, I get it.
I want Bobby to write. I want Bobby to be in the Bible instead of Jesus and call it Bobble.
That would be pretty fun.
Let's do that one.
I don't think there's any passages in the Bible though where Jesus was like, yeah, Judas is acting like a real cunt right now.
Yeah, we need that. We got to update.
Stop buying Judas's brand of Silk City hot sauce for Christ's sake.
Instead of water into
why don't you guys buy your own fucking bread?
Yeah,
giving you all the bread.
Big. What if you went out and got a job? All right, it's always Bobby. What can you do for me? Not Bobby. What can I do for you?
Yeah. Are we gonna walk on water? I'm not getting up.
The Last Supper. Bobby's like, how about you guys bring a chick around for once? Everyone thinks we're gay.
He's turning oregano into weed instead of water into wine.
Exactly. They're like,
but if your disciples were all like the sidekick things from Eastside Dave, that would be amazing.
That would be pretty sick. You guys want to see a miracle? Miracle would be any of you doing a fucking job. All right. We all make fun of Mary, but at least she's out here bringing home a paycheck.
Dude, and if you can get Kumia to play Punch's pilot, that's the deal.
Wash my hands of this.
But I didn't sin. Yeah, but you're black. Same thing. So Pete and Brandon, you're both on here. You're both bears in different ways. So
Yeah.
Brandon, I was telling Pete that your guys are trying to take the word back. So I think you guys should discuss that.
To be fair,
That's hilarious.
I still don't know where that started.
Bear?
Why did gay dudes just like
you looked in the
like
mirror?
bear and no, I get that, but like why an animal? I never got that.
Because
part.
it's a combination of the grizzly and the teddy. Like you're big and hairy, but you're also cuddly and fun.
No, it's not fun.
I
Somebody
thought it was
hitting on
because
me
they used to
again.
have the fucking caves when people was like wanting to stone them and stuff.
That too.
And they went into guybernation. Because they fuck guys. Anyway.
That's all I have. It's like being a bear. It's like, I don't know.
We've
like-
heard
But
you
that's
say it.
all
You don't have to
Brandon
tell
has.
us.
Brandon's a bear.
Oh, Pat, you talk over my mean joke. and I
Oh, I'm
need to
sorry. Go
read
ahead. Do it again.
I was like, no, don't worry, Pete. We've heard your act. We know that's all you have.
Oh, dare you.
Aw.
I know. That's why I had to go back and reiterate it was a joke. Pete's very funny, but nobody heard it. And now, Bradley's going to be at home and be like, Pete's not funny. He just talks about being gay. Well, we know that's not true.
If you
like
think
85%
that Pete's not funny, it's only because you follow him on Instagram and you watch the clips he shares, which by the way are just him being awkward and never his hilarious punchlines.
No, I thought you meant it was just the jealousy from seeing him be fucking jacked every day. And you're like, God, I feel like a bitch by comparison. Pete's like, I worked 8 hours today and then I'm throwing around. It's lightweight. We're doing shoulder presses, 350, no biggie. And you're like, God damn, my back hurts and I drove. That's all I did today.
If you think Pete's not funny, you're one of those women things named Sophia or whatever that's on the shows with them that go, he's got punchlines like a loser. Why is he just giving the clap? I don't know if that's a real person, but
I mean,
but
it's some
Pete's
kind of
face, I
clap.
think I just named a real person without meaning to. He's like, oh shit.
I just didn't get the punchline thing.
No, you have punchlines, and most all gays don't. They just go up and go, I like ladies. And you're like, okay, what is this? It's like, COVID, more
I
like
yelled at-
men suck. It's like,
I yelled
okay.
I yelled at someone for snapping once at a show.
Were they black?
I
think
know.
I was at that
You
show.
don't know if they're black?
I don't remember every person who
It was
snapped at
dark
me.
in there.
Would you say you snapped on the snapper?
They didn't smile, Brendan.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da.
They were not smiling. I mean, you could see the things of their fingernails too, right? Is that people? I don't know. I just dug myself in a hole.
The things with their
Jesus
fingernails.
Christ.
Well, because they're like, you can see the whites of their eyes. They're talking about battle, but you can also see the fingernails, right?
Is it fucked up to call them the whites of their eyes when they're on black people?
No, it's just the color. Jesus Christ. What is this
The
podcast
whites.
become?
The whites.
Brandon, you've spread your dark magic all over this podcast.
whites.
Jesus Christ.
How dare you say dark magic to racist Brandon?
Yeah.
It's white magic.
Don't you feel
I don't
guilty
even
using
think-
that?
I don't even think there is a such thing as white people, to be honest with you. Like, people
Oh.
keep getting grouped. Like, it was fine, and then they let the Irish in, and then they let the Italians in. I'm like, come on.
It was fine.
No, I'm just.
You were doing so good.
We were fine just being. We were doing so good just being from England and France, and then they had to let the Italians in and the Irish.
You know what it was? It's like a giant game of Risk, where like you had all these people and you're putting them on the fucking continent and you're covering it, but then you try to do too much and you spread out your people, and then a couple Irish guys get in there, and now you lose, and now everybody's half Puerto Rican. I think I just taught history.
Yeah, I like to just joke around about race because I think it's hilarious, because I really think it has more to do with like culture, because it really doesn't matter the color of somebody's skin. Like, if someone's coming at you and they look shady and scary and like they're gonna rob you, it doesn't matter what color they are, you know what I
Right.
mean? And if some guy's coming at you with a cell phone on his belt, with a button-up collar, it's, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's really. But
Well,
I think it's just in the culture that you're not supposed to joke about it, so it's just funny.
Well, I also think it's very strange in a place like America, where now people are yelling cultural appropriation all the time, but we were a melting pot. Remember when that was the term thrown around forever? We're all supposed to be combining everyone's cultures to make a new one. Like, So like, like sometimes like when someone says one thing, like, well, no, that's to one race, not the other. Like Bobby has a huge dick and everyone's like, dude, black cultural appropriation. It's like, that's not fair. He can't help it if he's got a huge schlong.
Yeah, my dad programmed it, but we'll get back to that later.
No more Gattaca.
Brandon, you brought up a really good point though. You said Irish, and that brings me to this segue. Pat, you've been yelling at me for like years about how great therapy is, and I can say years because we've officially moved.
So I haven't yelled it. I've said it calmly through therapy.
I mean, to be fair, pretty much everything you say sounds like it's yelling. So my confusion on that one, buddy. But who's the father of psychology? Like, who kind of invented the whole thing, Pat?
Fauci.
Nope, that's medicine. That's science in general. I'd argue psychology isn't even a science. So
did you see what I posted on Facebook like a couple hours ago? I was very proud of this. Yeah, I was listening to Elton John in that line where he says, it is that line where he says, I don't know much about science. I don't understand.
Were you proud you were listening to Elton John?
Yeah, proud as shit. Why wouldn't I be?
Very proud.
I was filled with pride.
You have pride in your listening to?
Yeah, pride. Like all the lines from The Lion King that backed up Elton John.
You were celebrating your pride by listening to Elton John. I'm picking up what you're putting down, Pat.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what you're saying. Elton John is a straight fellow who just likes good tunes. Anyway.
I don't think any of those are
an
true.
Eccentric dresser.
And dresses like that band from the Muppets with Dr. Teeth.
Electric Mayhem.
Yes, he dresses just like all of them. But my tweet said, and Brandon, I think you like, or not tweet, I'm not on Twitter anymore, but Facebook post said on that I quoted the Elton John song, a lot about science I don't understand. It's just my job 5 days a week. And then I wrote either Elton John or Fauci. I'm not sure which one. It's like dead on. He's like, but anyway, the father of is Sigmund Freud.
Right. Yeah. And what did Freud say about the Irish mind, Pat?
I don't know.
It wasn't susceptible to psychoanalysis.
Nice.
Essentially, yeah. Yeah, essentially, Brandon. He essentially called him that. Yeah. But that's why I don't do therapy. Yeah. It doesn't work on me. I'm Irish.
Oh, I thought it would work better because I'm dumb, so therefore I'll listen.
No. Basically, he was saying Irish people are too bullheaded.
But I'm Irish, and therapy works for me.
I would take one of those ancestry DNA things.
Look at me. I'm so Irish, right? Ready, Pete? Ready? I'm so Irish.
Oh, God. Don't do it.
How Irish is he?
Don't do it. Can't hear it again.
If you read my name and you squish it together, it's a hack joke. It's potatoes. Anyway,
to be fair to Sigmund Freud, though, he probably couldn't ever possibly conceive of an Irishman becoming sober. You know what I mean? So,
I think it's crazy that Sigmund Freud could be the father of psychology and also have that cool Vegas act with the lion.
That's how he came up with psychology. He was like, I want to fuck this tiger. It doesn't seem like anybody else wants to fuck this tiger. Why does my mind make me want to fuck this tiger? He's like, oh, it's my mother. She molested me.
My mother would always tell me to pause and think about things. And tigers have pause. And I used to fuck my mom.
And I kind of want to kill my dad. I wonder if that has anything to do with it.
Yeah. Maybe it's because he used to always approach me with a whip.
Dude, how fucked up was Greek society, though, that they made a play, right? Where the whole thing was this dude's going to fuck his mom. And like how frequently was that happening? Like, I was
so much.
They had all the time. It was like just the number one.
They're like, you know what?
Number one trend.
You know what? We really got to watch out for.
That was their TikTok challenge. Like,
yeah. The old people here were like, we got to stop TikTok. And the old people in Greece were like, they're going to kill us for our wives.
Yeah. They didn't have Tide Pods. So they were like, because we're going to fuck our moms.
They would fuck their mom or just fuck a boy and then just go about their day. Just walk out of the room. Boys holding his asshole. They're like, yep, now let's go start a diner.
Say a prayer to the chess piece in the closet. That's our God.
That must have been cool though back then. Like with restaurants always open.
Athenia 7.
Why isn't that a movie like The Magnificent Seven? The Athenia 7 should be a movie about 7 guys who open up the first 7 diners ever across America. I was at
That's why they
a
were such good fighters. Because like the choice was, hey, you could stay on this farm and keep getting butt fucked, or you could go fight some other people. I'll take a break from the butt fucking.
I'd rather get shot in the face than another shot in the back of my head.
Yeah, stabbed in the chest better than stabbed in the ass.
Captain Stabbing over here. I was at a diner a couple hours ago with Brandon with Dion, and we're at the Valley Diner, and we're just sitting in there. It's quiet, and they're playing music. First of all, their speakers were like 1970, like bad car speakers. It sounded like a wet fart. They had bass on real loud, and they're playing like dance music in this fucking diner on Sunday night. It's like,
Yeah, fucking.
but then they're playing.
Like it turned up with your eggs.
Yes, but it was just like pop music. And they're playing Miley Cyrus, but then at one point we hear it in the song, and she's like, "And I don't give a fuck about that. Fuck this." And we're like, "There's no edit." And there's kids there, and me and Dion are laughing, but no one else is even noticing that just in a diner, just like, fuck this, fuck you. And Miley Cyrus, like, why don't they give a shit? It was crazy. When people get mad at everything, people think the world's about cancel culture, but go to a Greek diner. No one cares. You could kill a guy in a Greek diner, and nobody would care.
Yeah, it's all on the television.
That's the rule.
The screens.
As far as like
no one cares.
Shitty comedy gigs go, a Greek restaurant's top of my list. Because at least like the whole staff, and usually it's going to be a whole staff. Like they've served 9 customers that day, and they've got 32 people working in the shop. They're all going to be into the comedy. It's hard to offend Greek people. Again, probably all the butt fucking.
Pete, didn't we do a Greek restaurant?
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, it was like the side room is big. It was all painted like the Coliseum and shit.
Yeah, dude, they love that shit. Like, pretend this is Greece.
It was a big fucking back room.
Yeah, we were
What's
in
fun
massive.
is
We were
they-
in like fucking like.
They always
Fall River,
buy in like the
Massachusetts or
worst
some
part
shit.
of town too, so it looks like it is just
It's in
the
a
ancient
strip
Greek
mall.
ruins around it.
Oh, it's in a
Like, it's
strip
usually-
mall, fucking middle of
Usually in a
nowhere.
part of town where you're definitely gonna get mugged, and the crack house across the street blew up, so it does look like you are touring the ancient ruins.
Dude, and remember that we were on that show and that girl asked for a ride. She said it was 5 minutes away, and it was in Boston, like 35 fucking minutes away. And we had to drive all the way there. Couldn't find her fucking house and drive another 4 hours fucking home.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Ugh. I don't even remember if that show was good. It was like, I know it was during the day. It was like 5 or 6. It was like
Yeah, it was
way
all
too.
right.
I know
all
I
right.
was good, but I don't
Brandon,
remember.
you doing
about
okay?
anyone else.
I know the Greeks evolved into the Romans, who eventually fought your people, the Gauls. Are you doing okay down there? I don't want to give too much Greek praise.
The Gauls?
That's where like
Gauls.
Wiccans came from, right?
Oh, okay. I said Brandon. I didn't hear it. I thought you said me, and I'm like, is that Irish terms? I don't know Gauls.
No, I mean that would be like extended Gaul.
Well, Brandon's only warlock on his mother's side. He's not full. He's also, what's the other one? Magpie. What's the one when you're not a wizard too?
Muggle.
Muggle. Sorry.
I like Magpie.
Muggle.
Poor
Magpie, yeah.
Brandon's a half blood. That's not good.
I'm a half breed.
Brandon's a
Druid,
Popeye.
Wiccan wizard.
Well, you're not a warlock. You're a wizard, right?
Yeah.
Is it the same
it's kinda
thing?
like all that stuff. Well, it
You've
gets
seen
a
how-
little different.
You've seen how a wizard dresses, and you've seen
Yeah.
how a warlock dresses. Which
I
one does
thought
Brandon
Warlock
dress
was
like
just
that?
more gothy. The
Yeah.
wizards were more gay.
How does a warlock dress?
I don't know, horns.
Look at Brandon.
Brandon just wears hoodies and some flip flops. Warlocks wear flip flops.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I don't know.
They want to show their toes.
I thought warlock and wizard were the same thing.
No.
Just guy
you can't
witch.
Make that mistake. Nope. Brandon, explain it to him.
It depends on your lore, I guess. But yeah, I guess a warlock would be more like a witch, and it's more has a dark connotation, where a wizard is more of a magician, which means it's kind of hard to explain.
Yeah, all right,
And
that's what I thought.
when you're talking about mythology, it's like they're the ones with all the power, like Gandalf and all that stuff. But like in real life, they just usually help other people to see their own way. Think of like the way Gandalf helped Frodo, but then he made him go the rest of the way on his own.
Is Gandalf like, did Gandalf take over Merlin as like most famous wizard? Because forever Merlin was the famous wizard.
Yeah, it was Merlin. Yeah, even Top Gun.
Yeah, I'd
Remember
say so.
Merlin?
But now it's Gandalf, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, those movies, man. They really.
Who's
shifted,
number 3?
Dumbledore?
Pinball wizard?
I say Dumbledore.
Pinball wizard for sure. Bought my other for Christmas today.
Dumbledore,
That's
maybe,
hilarious.
maybe. I think Voldemort, right?
Yeah, I guess.
I think that season when MJ came back and played for him.
Yeah,
He was the
yeah.
third most famous wizard.
He really, yeah. And I guess Beals, but he's not really that well known. I mean, but he's good.
But what about Mr. Wizard?
Oh shit, Mr. Wizard.
Totally
Ever-
forgot about him.
Oh, Bill Nye fucking made you all forget. Like he really did. Bill Nye is the 9/11 to Mr. Wizard. He destroyed that because Mr. Wizard was the shit, and then Bill Nye's like, "Hold my beer, you old fart." He destroyed him.
A.K. Rowling actually bought the licensing to that, and she's going to relaunch it as Mr. Wizard in parentheses exactly close parentheses.
Exactly.
I like that this podcast
just
is
says
never
Mr.
never gets in trouble for anything, but we're gonna get shit for J.K. Rowling hate.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like you wrote this whole fantasy world, and then in real life, you're like, nah, that's not cool. It's just weird.
Yeah, I like that though. I like that. I make fantasy, and even I can't make up a transsexual. but I made Hogwarts. That'd be like if the people from the Matrix weren't whatever the fuck they are. What are they? The ones that made the Matrix? They're like one's like a gimp.
What?
Yeah, the ones that made the Matrix. Like one owns the other one on a leash or something.
I just thought they were both transgender.
No, but what before that, before they came out like that, when they made the first ones, one of them was like the submissive, I keep you on a leash thing.
Didn't
Like from
know that,
Pulp
didn't
Fiction.
want to know that.
Like
Listen,
Pulp
we
Fiction.
all got bitches on leashes, all right? It's no big deal.
No. How dare you? How dare you? That's offensive. Bitches should be free. I like my free range bitches.
Free roam bitches.
Free range bitches.
Free reign bitches are a real problem.
Cage
I like
free.
people nice on a leash, you know?
You know who's no longer a free range bitch? Betty White.
Betty White.
Dead.
She finally died. I have been making jokes about, and this is going to be our first story, Bobby. I've been making jokes about Betty White. Pete, for a long time, right? Brandon, for a long time. Anytime I get a chance to go on stage and get mad about Betty White's existence, it's not a part of my act. It'll just happen sometimes. And I go on rants about it. And then I've done a lot of research, and I would name all the things that Betty White was older than. I've done it on radio shows, podcast. She wasn't older than dirt, but she was older than the selling of dirt, which is real. Like before they put dirt in bags and sold it, Betty White was 3. She wasn't older than than freezing things, but she was older than actual indoor freezers. When she was born, they were putting fish on ice still. And then they brought it inside when she was older. She was older than actual, not sliced bread, but toast. That was the thing she was older than. And then street lights. They had some, but like actual street lights throughout the thing, working street lights. She was older than that. And I bring that up all the time. And I also bring up the fact that she was like the least funny of the Golden Girls, least talented. She used her husband to get into stuff. She wasn't funny. So there was just a push to go, who the fuck is an old person? I would say this all the time. I said she was the reason for 9/11, for COVID, and for the cancellation of Aunt Jemima. I think those are all 3 her fault somehow. And then people would get all upset.
Patrice O'Neill too.
Right. Yes. Yeah, very much so. I would just obviously be joking. And people, that's the one thing in my act they would get mad about. How fucking dare you? Betty White's a national treasure. And then Betty White finally died. And Brandon was the first person to text me. I was standing next to our buddy Dion, but Brandon's like, do you hear that shit? And I was, as a joke, because Brandon knows it's funny between us. Brandon, I probably got like 30 fucking messages that day from people not only telling me, but blaming me. Like, I've been doing it for a year, but they're like, seriously, you fucking asshole. She didn't even make it. Are you happy now? Like, yeah, I'm fucking stoked. I'm very happy. She's gone. She caused all this shit. Maybe the world will get better now. But it's obviously a joke. But who's the piece of shit in this story? Is it Betty White from never dying? They've made all these things to try to kill old people. They didn't do it. Is it me? for being a comic and just making jokes about something. I don't know Betty White nor care about Betty White, but I did more research on her than most people. Not the ones who voted her in to be a host for Saturday Night Live, which is like sad that they had to do that. Any of that shit. Is it people for messaging me going, dickhead, she's dead. Now what? I don't know. I don't fucking care. Who's the piece of shit in the story? Pete, go first.
Everyone messaging you just mostly because the minute she died, I literally thought, wow, every retard is going to be texting Pat now who heard him ever say Betty White was a piece of shit. And it's like, I think people are like, oh, how can you do that? She was 99.
Yeah.
Like she was old. And like, I'm amazed she made it this fucking long. I gotta go with hands down everyone who texted you. Because one, I guarantee you, they all thought they were being like real clever and I remember this thing Pat said.
All right, and by the way, bonus question on top of this. So when you give your answer, people come back to you if you can't do it right now. Bonus question: you answer who the POS is, and now you have to answer this, everybody. Who now replaces her as the old person that America roots for and shoves down our throat? Do you need time, Pete?
Do they have to be an American? Because I kind of
no. Know what? You're right. Who's the old person celebrity in the world that people cling on to as this is the thing? Now that Betty White is gone, who's the old talentless inspiration? If you need time, I'll go to Brandon first for his POS.
I don't know if I'd call him talentless, but if I can think of, I have two.
All right, go ahead.
Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen.
I think they're both way more talented than Betty White.
They are, but I feel like they're the old guy, the old people who people like love and are going to be. Like,
I don't think an old white man's going to get the love, Pete.
No, all right. You
Not
want
in this day and age.
You want less talented? All right, I'll think more. I'll think
You
less
think,
talented.
Brandon? Who's the piece of shit in the story?
I like Pete's answer. I think it's funny that all the people, even though I am one of the people that text.
No, but you did it as a joke between you and me. You weren't giving me shit. It was funny. I was waiting for you to do that. It was hilarious.
Yeah. No, that's exactly.
You broke the news to me. Dion walked into my store. It was about to say it, and then you hit me with the fucking tag. I was like, "Oh shit!" Dion's like, "Fuck, did he beat me?"
Yeah, I put it in a group text between Dion and my other friend Smokey because I wanted to beat Smokey to it because he's always the one to like tell us when people die. He's always like, "Oh, this guy's dead" or whatever, like every time. That's how I always know within minutes of like a famous person dying. Smokey's just like, "Oh yeah, here we go." So yeah, I think these people. I think they're just hating on you because they know you cornered the market on hilarious Betty White humor. So
he certainly didn't. Like, fucking unfunny bitch.
Yeah, but now you got more to talk about. Even it's better now that she's dead. You could be like, "Oh, she's haunting me." I don't know. Don't listen to me, but you got
Oh no, I might go for it. Now who replaces
her? Morgan Freeman.
Ooh,
I don't know.
Ooh.
I mean, he's got talent, but I'm just saying.
You're right, but he is beloved, and he's not as talented. People say he has a voice.
Yeah. And Dufresne. Yeah, it's like
that's really all it is. He's like James Earl Jones light.
The Penguins and Andy Dufresne. It's like, yeah, we're right.
Bobby.
The piece of shit, we'll start there. It's O.J. Simpson.
Yes.
Yeah.
He had a great tweet, I heard.
Because Betty White asked him to stop fucking so hard, and he just didn't listen. And that was the end of Betty White. And so it's him, because if your partner tells you to slow down during sex, especially when they're nearing their 100th birthday.
You're breaking the news that O.J. Simpson and Betty White were in a love affair?
I hardly think I'm breaking the news. I think it was the worst kept secret in Hollywood. That's why he got out of prison. Betty White was her boyfriend. Come on.
Wait, she used her Betty White power?
Betty White pussy, more like it.
Betty White pussy.
Betty White power.
Her pussy must have looked like an inside out fish.
Didn't bother the juice.
Nothing bothered the juice except for Nicole.
And that waiter.
You needed all the juice he had left to fucking.
Yeah, it was more the other guy inside of her that bothered him.
Yeah, a little bit. So you think but who's the piece of shit?
Yeah, no, I'm sticking with it. Yeah.
I'm with you. All right, and who replaces Betty?
All right, who do I hope or who do I actually think? Because I hope it's Hillary Clinton. I think
no, not for death.
No. I know. I just think it would be hilarious if now the old woman in all these shows who just shows up for short little cameos is Hillary Clinton. She's like, it's me. Remember, I killed 1 million people in Benghazi. And then everybody just kind of.
And then she'll just be fun.
Yeah, exactly. Like that. That's what I think it should be. In reality, it's probably gonna be Whoopi Goldberg.
Ooh, good call, Whoopi.
Because again, like, I feel like she did have some talent back in the day, but it was mainly like slapsticky. And in her older age, she can't do that as much. So it's just gonna be more like, oh look, it's Whoopi, and like kind of like it was with Betty White. Like, oh look, it's Betty White. She's in this. Oh, we got Betty White to say fuck. It's hilarious. You know what I mean? Like, I think Whoopi could transition into that very easily.
I think, first of all, the piece of shit is me.
Oh, I hope J.K. Rowling didn't hear me say she was going to transition into something.
You're not gonna be the next book.
JK. But I first of all, the piece of shit in the story is me. I would just go to. I did it because people got so mad because she is beloved. People just love her, and I would just think it was funny to get mad at a person that there's no reason to get mad at. There really isn't anything about Betty White's life that causes any kind of pain. That was the entire joke. Me up there saying "fuck her," she's the worst, and then watching people seethe. I'm not obviously telling the truth, but so many people would believe me in this. It was insane. So it's me not realizing that people are lunatics and they can't understand what a joke is.
See, but I don't feel like it's you as much, because I think Betty White, if she heard you doing that, like if she was just somehow at the casino walking by and was like, did I hear my name? I think she would listen to that and be like, that's hilarious. Like, yes, I am old. I shouldn't be in all this shit anymore. So I don't think it was bad. And I don't think it's the audience, because they were like, oh, Pat, like making fun of this woman. Let me tell him so he can make fun of it. Like the people who were scolding are cunts, but they're just going to be cunts. But
because
if when people get a new weed piece and they tag me and they're like, oh, I'm chilling, Bobby. I'm like, hell yeah, dude. I'm glad that you associate me with something you enjoy doing. Like, and I think it's cool that a bunch of people associated you with the celebrity dying. Like, it's monumental news. And at least 40 people were like, oh, I got to text Pat. I think that's pretty fucking dope.
Whenever Betty White or a midget are in the news, I get mad messages.
I tried to take a picture of one because I saw one pulling into the parking garage, but they totally caught me with my phone.
A Betty White or a midget?
A midget. It'd be cooler if it was Betty White.
Be like cooler if it was.
Now, the people that I think are going to replace Betty White, there's two I have. One's a male, one female for it. Now, the male, I'm kind of joking, but I think it's finally time. It's been close anyway. It's David Hasselhoff. David Hasselhoff is beloved, and for the same thing, not really talented, kind of okay at shit.
Is he beloved?
Oh my God, he's beloved. To the point.
Germany.
Well, no, even here, and not because of his acting or anything else. He was a joke like Nickelback for a while, but the thing he did differently was he laughed at himself. And now people love it the same way Michael Bolton did, where once you embrace it, people are on board. 10 years from now, he's going to definitely be the Betty White thing, showing up on shows, still trying to be cool, having the perm hair still, wearing a leather jacket, being old as shit like an older Fonzie. But the female, and she's going to use this power, the Betty White power, to make herself the next president of the United States of America. Michelle Obama is going to be the next Betty fucking White. She already is close, and the transsexuals like her because she has a dick. So she's gonna be the next president, and people love her, and she's the wife of the president a lot of people liked, and she's gonna use this just to get in for no fucking reason.
As she announces her candidacy, J.K. Rowling is going to announce, I'm writing a new book, and it's about this woman who takes over the United States.
You know, I
was gonna say Winkler.
Go ahead.
There you go.
Henry Winkler.
Yeah.
He's already there, though. I think he's about to die, and he's already there.
All right, it's perfect timing then.
Yeah, you did it. He's there.
What about Roseanne Barr?
No, not beloved. Never will be, unfortunately.
I did think that same route, Brandon, but I just think, like Pat said, enough people hate her that it wouldn't be.
She should be. She's a fucking national treasure. She's fucking way more talented than Betty White ever was. One of the best stand-up comedians fucking ever. When you take her, what she did and how she changed the fucking game, especially for female comics, and no one mentions her enough. She's brilliant, but because she's so outspoken, Betty White's not outspoken. The biggest quote by Betty White, the one that everyone's quoting, is great because on Instagram, the fact check thing jumped in. It was like, this wasn't even her quote, you fucks. You're all wrong. The one where she goes, why do they say people have balls? Balls aren't tough. Vaginas take a pounding. That should be the tough thing. That's not her fucking quote. And everybody's misquoted forever. She didn't say cool shit like that. B. Arthur would have said cool shit like that. Estelle Getty would have said cool shit like that. Betty White set women back on Golden
Rivers.
Girls being a dope. She pretended she was dumb. That's not what women are. They're not dumb. They're smart. Betty White.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Joan Rivers would have said, actually, it's funny because we just said Michelle Obama. Have you heard what Joan Rivers, did you hear what she said like 3 weeks before she died about Michelle Obama?
No.
Did you see that video?
I didn't. What'd you say?
Some reporter was saying something to her while she was walking into a restaurant, and she's like, who do you want the next female president, or who do you think should be the first female president? They're like, what about Michelle Obama? And they're like, Michelle. He's like Michelle's a guy. She's like, everyone knows that. And she turns around, she's like, no. Yeah, and then she goes into the restaurant. I was like, whoa. Yeah, hilarious.
Joan Rivers is also somebody that's not fucking praised enough. I know she was a little bit when she died for a couple of weeks, but like when you talk about the tremendous stand-up comedians, not talked about in the way she should be at all. But Betty White is fucking hilarious. When people say Betty White's funny, it's the same madness I get when they say Will Ferrell's funny. It's like, fuck you. They're a vessel for other people's thoughts. Fuck off. Anyway.
Agreed.
I kind of never think of people that think like, the other thing too is like, I feel like I don't hear people be like, oh, she's so funny. They're just like, oh, she's been around forever.
That was it.
I do think the ability to be a vessel for other people's humor is something that people should get credit for, though.
Oh, it's a talent, but that doesn't don't say they're funny.
No, but like Robin Williams, like would take a scene and then make it his own. Like that's just an extreme. You know what I mean? Like he would be funny. Other people who wrote for him were funny too. But like, you know what I mean? Like,
without a doubt,
something that needs credit too. I don't think Betty White had that though.
No,
for at least for me, it was just oh look, it's the old lady who's willing to show up. You know what I mean? Like, oh,
and
Betty
say
White
suck my dick in Lake Placid.
Yeah, exactly, or something dirty that everybody laughs at. Yeah, like that's it. It's like, have you guys seen that grandma on Snapchat that like her son makes her do all the shit?
Yeah.
It's literally the same thing. It's just an old woman who somebody's like, here, take this. Like Will Ferrell, I think is.
I joke. I don't like him personally, but he's obviously Will Ferrell, Robin Williams, people like that.
But again,
ones that
can
can
go, oh my god, he's a classic stand-up. You got to see Ferrell stand. Like, no, you'd be like, he's funny. You want to do coke with Will, but you don't want to. You know what I mean? Like that's all I was getting at.
But yeah, but when someone gives them something, they then take that and then make it their own and put an influence. Robin Williams never took a script and just read the script. Betty White was reading the fucking script.
Exactly.
Johnny Depp is just a dumb vessel. He's not funny. He just goes out there like a mindless puppet and says shit and wears scarves a bunch. That's what he does.
So can we just refer to actors now as vessels?
Yeah, I do. Well, Brandon refers to all politicians as actors, and I refer to actors as vessels, so it works out well. See?
Yeah,
Which vessel is starring in this movie?
It's the Titanic.
J. Trump.
Speaking of Snapchat,
I think Trump's a woman too, by the way.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say I think Donald Trump's a lesbian. I think he's a woman too. Like, listen, you never see him with facial hair. He has all the mannerisms down. Like, he reminds me of my Aunt Marge. Like, my Aunt Marge, rest in peace. She reminds me more of a guy than Donald and Donald Trump. Like, he's been famous forever, and you never see a picture of him with facial hair. I really think it would be great. Imagine, because he was supposed to run against the first female president, and then he screwed it all up. How hilarious of a joke would that be?
Right. And first of all, R.I.P. Aunt Marge.
She's a legend. Yeah,
Large Marge.
Yeah, well, hey,
how funny would it be
as a see him
if Trump right now just gets a sex change and demands we all call him the first female president of the United States?
Just out of spite.
That's the ultimate Trump card.
He gets the sex change and wears blackface.
Like, these are your rules. We're playing by them.
He just starts yelling the N-word. I could do it now. He's just screaming.
Yeah, people think like the world's controlled by these evil, like whatever, Illuminati and all this stuff. I just think there's a bunch of hilarious guys that understand human psychology and they're running the show. They're like, give him Donald Trump. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lesbian. He's like, he's got orange hair. It'll be great.
No, it is. It's all the people that were good writers on Saturday Night Live, but then when they got bad, shitty ones, they're like, let's just go run the country instead.
Exactly.
It's like Conan O'Brien and John Mulaney, and they're all just writing scripts. It's like,
we're gonna know it's the down years when Biden comes out and he's like, "Hey, babe, I got the perfect gift for you. It's my dick in a box," and we're gonna be like, "No, it's that era."
I'm not a Biden fan, but if he came out with a box, I would be like, I'd be excited.
I wouldn't be mad about it,
especially when he forgot what to do with the box.
He'd be like, "What's in here?"
Wait a minute, whose dick is this? Joe, that's yours. I'm Joe.
He opens it up. He's like, "Who got me a dick for Christmas?"
It looks familiar.
Let me ask my
Why'd you give me
doctor wife.
Why'd you give me such an old one? I want a new one.
Bobby, you got any stories?
It's not really a story, but I saw something on TikTok that infuriated me. It was
women with opinions. No.
No, yeah. It was a woman. And she was doing a dance.
It's funnier because he's gay. I'm sorry. So it's just like it's real. There's realness there. Fuck you.
No, you're gonna hate this woman as much as I did.
Nice.
So she's doing like one of those. It's got the noise, and she's doing the dance, and then she points, and like a statement comes up.
Oh yeah,
like,
those.
I'm reading through it, and the song is "Start a Riot," and it's her getting mad that the police didn't convict another family when her kid drowned at the pool accidentally.
She made a TikTok for it?
Not just a TikTok dance video, like pointing out the facts of the case. So it was like, "Doom, doom, start a riot, doom, doom, start it," and like 7 times.
It drowned.
I don't know if it's fake. Yeah, it was so bad though, and it just like, why would you put that out there for the world?
It was a spell. She's a witch. She did it 7 times.
First of all, Bobby, how dare you? Everyone copes with death in a different way. Some with likes, and some people need to go viral.
Sometimes you gotta go. Yeah, you gotta go viral to deal with it.
I really hope like the other family's attorney just shows up to court and is like, "Nah, man, she has mental health issues." And the judge is like, "You can't just say that," and he just plays the TikTok. The judge is like, "Nah, you're right. She's crazy. This is probably."
What's the hashtag on that TikTok? R.I.P. Aunt Marge. That's fucking. The show goes to the power of Aunt Marge. Wait,
so who did
she want? Betty White.
So who did she want convicted for the kid drowning?
So basically, because I watched this TikTok way too many times, her kid was over at another family's house, and they had like the pool propped open with a zip tie, the gate to the pool, so like it wouldn't close because they were carrying things in and out. And the kid fell in and drowned. And then the coroner showed up and was like, "Oh, you shouldn't have had that done." And the police were like, "Yeah, this is clearly an accident." Like nobody held the kid underwater, and she was all pissed that nobody was charged.
How old are you? Like, if your kid can't swim, I feel like it's not old enough to go to someone else's fucking house yet.
Right. I feel like
if your kid can't swim, maybe you shouldn't let them go in a pool.
Yeah,
that too.
Like if your baby can't drive, you don't give it the keys.
No, you gotta teach them young.
Yeah, you gotta teach them how to drown young.
I almost fucking drowned in
thin the herd.
Wait.
Yeah.
Brandon almost drowned, and he's a wizard.
Yeah, and I'm a wizard. Yeah, I almost drowned in a pool. I was like 6, and another 6-year-old had to save my life because it was the 80s, and no one cared, and no one was even watching. So we were just told not to go in the pool. So we're like, okay. So the first thing we did was go right to the pool, and I was on a raft. I didn't know how to swim, fall in the water, and I'm just eyes open, looking around, like, oh, I guess this is how I die. Like I didn't.
At 6, you were deep as
fuck.
Spell.
I was just like frozen in terror. And then my friend jumped in because it was his pool, and he was like, swims like a fish, and he pulled me out, and I was like, thank you.
He spent his days practicing diving, not practicing Wingardium Leviosa. So he was able to be productive in that situation.
How do you
make a high, make a hiney ho?
How do you kill a wizard? Yeah, you just drown him when he's 6.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, what if That's what happened. The other one, he's actually wanted to be a more powerful wizard. So he went back in time and tried to kill you in the pool so you couldn't become the more powerful wizard.
It's possible.
I don't
mean,
think
he's
it
still
is.
around. He's on Facebook. He could kill me, but
He's on Facebook as the guy who saved Brandon. That's his hashtag.
The other
That's
wizard.
right.
He's like,
The
oh, that's
other
why
wizard.
that's why he saved you. He's like, one day he's gonna have to use his wizard powers to do me a favor.
That's right.
I like that at the
Funny
end.
if-
Brandon's like, he saved me. And then I was like, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then I helped him move years later. I helped him.
Paid him back.
with that Wingardium Leviosa spell you had been practicing the whole time.
Dude, that phone call must have been awesome. Hey, Brandon, you available next weekend? Well, I'm kind of busy. Well, you wouldn't be busy at all if you
If I had
died
saved
when you
your
were
fucking life. You'd be hanging with Betty White right now if I didn't fucking do something.
He's like, whoa, Betty White's not dead yet in this scenario. It's like, I'm a wizard. I know.
I do hope that's the next turn of J.K. Rowling's woke descent, where she's like, yeah, and then it turns out none of the wizards could swim, and they got really into collecting shoes and hip hop music, and suddenly crime was rampant in the wizarding community, and wizard on wizard crime started to be responsible for. And she starts quoting statistics.
And then one
bikes
day,
are no longer
out of
safe.
nowhere, the Hogwarts Target got fucking looted.
They tried to shut down the Ministry of Magic when it was really just out there protecting the good wizards.
WLM, Weasley Life Matters. All right. Police discovered illegal orgy between 70 people because 2 assistants went to the wrong house. On the night of December 31st, the Spanish police discovered and broke into an illegal orgy with more than 70 people after 2 assistants tried to enter a neighboring house after confusing the location. According to the authorities, the homeowners reported that 2 people had tried to enter their property. This led to them searching the neighborhood and discovering the illegal orgy in which reported... What? I hate this thing. Okay, wait. Apparently, most of the people who were in the place located in Barcelona were the men of American origin who hired sex workers to fire the year. This is actually translated over. That's why I think that the words are bad.
Yes,
The police intervened the place because it exceeded the capacity limit imposed to the authorities of Catalonia in this order to prevent. At the moment, authorities are investigating what happened in the house where the illegal orgy was practiced to impose the sanctions that are deemed pertinent. Who's the piece of shit in the story? Is it the 2 assistants who went to the wrong place? When you're going to an orgy, get the address correct. There are certain things you don't do. Like back in the day when you were going to go buy weed in an apartment, you made sure you had the right number of the apartment because you could cause some fucking problems. If you're going to go cheat on somebody, you don't go to the wrong apartment. So they're like, wait, you're visiting that lady. I thought she was married. If you're going to go fuck 70 other people, you've got to make sure you've got the right address. It's not like Domino's delivering the pizza to the wrong address, one house next door. It can cause problems. Isn't the people that live next door be like, wait, what's going on here? You wanted an orgy? Let's call the cops. Fuck you. You're mad you weren't invited to 70 people fucking? Is that why? Just let it go. If my neighbors had an orgy and someone came here and said, hey, is this the orgy house? I'm like, no, that's next door. Have fun. Be safe. That's all I'd say. Maybe wear 70 condoms. I don't know. But I wouldn't care, and I wouldn't call the police. Even if it was loud, I'm like, it's still better than their dog barking all the fucking time, as both Pete and Brandon have heard in my neighbor's house. I'd rather the fucking happen. Is it them? Is it 70 people for going to an orgy? That's too much. That's too much. That's insane. That's not an orgy at that part. That's just a bunch of people fucking. You're not all together. And an orgy means a massive fucking. You're not all fucking together at the same time. That's too much. That's insane. Imagine if you didn't want to go anyway, but your friend's like, you should go out, and you're kind of claustrophobic, and then 70 people are there. And by the way, it's not equal 35 men and women. So many more dudes went to that orgy. They're Spanish. They're conquistadors, for God's sakes. They're in there being all Spanish and shit with their little mustaches. There's probably like 5 women and like 65 cocks that you don't want there at all. It's not a good time. Conquistadors. There you go. You're welcome. Who's the piece of shit in this story? Brandon, go first.
Well, I'd like to say that there's 2 pieces of shit I see. The person who didn't hire security for the orgy, and like, strict directions and all that.
Well, they
shit.
hired
Somebody
sex
that didn't-
workers, so it's hard to get security with sex workers.
Yeah, but listen, if you're gonna do a big, like you said, 70 fucking people, you gotta. That's like the people who think they're rich, but they're not really rich. They just spend all this money. It's like if you don't have 70 orgy people money to get real security and even bribe off the local cops, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? 70 people. So yeah, that, and then I think the other pieces of shit would be the people who would try to stop that. How dare, I might not agree with it, but let all the hedonism they want to, get to what they ever want to figure out, as long as they're not hurting any innocent bystanders or children, I say let them have at it.
When I was in college, we used to, and I lived in the rugby house. We used to throw parties every Tuesday during the school year to pay our rent. And right, we would throw a huge party, and that one party would pay the rent for the month, and we'd have 4 a month and have extra money for food. Everything. All we would do is a big kegger. Now, all college kids would come because we were right off campus. Now, we weren't dumb. We actually lived next to like projects, and we lived next to another little apartment thing right in the middle of there. We knew if we didn't invite the old black guys and the crazy war vets and all the people that lived in next door, they would call the cops and shut us down. So we went over and said, no matter what, you guys are always invited. You want to come on over? We won't charge you to come in, have a, drink out of the keg a little bit, stare at a young thing that would never talk to you, and go back the fuck home. And nobody ever called the cops. All these people had to do is go next door and go, hey, we're going to have a fuck festival. You want to come? I'll send you the Eventbrite link or whatever the fuck they had. We'll let you can come check it out. We won't even charge you. You can come on in. Get it? CUM. You can come on in. But they wouldn't go, but they'd be happy and they wouldn't call the cops because at least they were invited. They were just mad they weren't fucking.
Yeah, they'd be flattered.
Yeah.
They'd at least be flattered that they got invited. They'd be like, oh.
Like, what number are we? Like 38 and 39. Like, okay, well, that's not the worst, I guess.
There's only 5 chicks, and like we're not even sure they're all 5 chicks, so you can come if you want.
J.K.
Like,
Rowling.
thanks.
You know what though? I should have added another. Yeah, J.K. Rowling was not invited.
J.K. Rowling on the floor.
Whoa, this is not all straight sex. Let me write another book. The Orgy of Secrets.
Or some wizards who got into some weird shit.
More like jizzards. Anyway, so it's like, but the other piece of shit, and I forgot to mention this one as well. The other piece of shit would be the guy who set this up and then couldn't get women to go, so he had to hire sex workers. If you're gonna go hard, like Brandon said, you got like orgy money. If you forgot the one thing you need, which is women, that's like us if we threw those keg parties and didn't have beer. It's like everybody coming. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot the thing you came here for. Pete, who's a piece of shit?
I mean, before you said that's actually who I was going to say. Whoever was running it, and one didn't think that maybe, I don't know, be real clear about the address to, what'd you say? The assistants? Why were the assistants? Were they assisting?
Yeah,
the amount of cock that needed to get there. Like, what the fuck?
Is that what they call fluffers now?
They probably were. They
They
called them for lube. They called them for extra lube. That's what happened. Yeah.
But also to be like, I couldn't imagine having like, how big was this guy's apartment or his house? It was like 70 people to just fucking, because like at least with a keg party, okay, people were outside or whatever. I'm assuming everyone was in close quarters and just fucking
How does that start, by the
on the
way?
front
Who's the
lawn.
first one? Are they just like ready, set, go? Like, how the fuck does that start,
What
man?
if I was like, why was he throwing, like, if the guy who like he had to hire these sex workers, like who was he trying to like really impress and then really couldn't get, like, oh man, I gotta close this sale for my job and I need to really wow this customer. Orgy. Oh, there's enough women in our office. Let me hire a bunch of hookers.
Or Pete, worse, he's trying to hook up with a chick and she's like, well, I don't want to hang out just the two of us.
I got it.
Other friends, man.
I was gonna have 69 other people, but that was a little on the nose.
I don't want to be hacky.
He's like, hey, we can't. He's like, we can't start yet. The 2 assistants aren't here yet. Oh,
I
sit
love
next
Brandon's
door.
idea of who starts it.
Where do they start? I think that might be a bit. I don't know. Has anyone done that? Because
Two people just
Race
start
that
fucking, and
go.
everyone's like, "Do we jump in on that?" We just go.
It wasn't actually an orgy, but it was just a hangout. And some two people started fucking. They're like, oh, why not?
It's just the sexiest double dutch you've ever seen. Like two guys getting ready to jump in. Like, all right, I think it's my move. Miss Mary, Mac, jizzed on her back.
I definitely have to come late to that. There's no way I could be there for the beginning of that. I just start laughing.
You get there early. You're just early with a hard on. No one else is there.
You and the host, and he's awkwardly serving you like soda.
Like some more Mountain Dew. Francisco. Everyone here is named Francisco. This is Spain. Bobby, who's the piece of shit?
Diego.
So it's for starters, it's kind of them, because if you Google orgy with 70 people, the Spanish thing comes up. But then turns out there was a party in France with 81 people who got busted on New Year's Eve as well.
Oh,
So
they're
they
not
didn't
even the
have
best.
the biggest. They're not even the best now. So step your game up, Spain. But for me, the real piece of shit in the story is Anthony Fauci. Because if he had just solved either one of his two things he was in charge of, that situation would be much safer, right? No COVID, no HIV. Everybody feels safe at the orgy. But nope, Fauci's 0 for 2, and you're getting arrested for having a little fun.
And if Fauci actually made real
what
AIDS,
the Greeks called an average Tuesday night, 70 dudes butt fucking, now is a crime. Come on.
that's probably what it was. It was probably a 70 dudes butt fucking.
That's why they were broken up. If it had been 70 chicks just scissoring,
Nobody would have
Like, all right,
cared.
nothing wrong here.
Oh, there's something wrong. That smell would have been atrocious.
That's too much tuna.
Tuna much.
All right.
And I hope they did that in memory of Betty White and Aunt Marge. I hope that's what it was for.
Oh,
It's orgy.
I thought you were gonna say Betty White and John Madden.
Boom. On the television show, the first one comes in like this, his cock's hard, boom, bang, and this one comes in here, he's penetrating.
He moves into the living room. Oh, he's getting blocked there. He moves around the kitchen. Oh, there's a free pussy there.
When I was doing radio this weekend, I was like, I had to record stuff, and at 3 different times I ended one of my fucking like rants by just for no reason saying tough acting to acting. Just as a shout out. And I had somebody text me going, what? Why did you say you just talked about how to listen to Chaz and AJ all week? And then you're like tough acting to acting. I'm like, R.I.P. John Madden. That's it.
Tough acting to acting.
Bobby, you got anything fun?
Yeah, here's a fun one. Have you guys seen the TikTok trend? And it's been on like Facebook and Instagram too, where it's like set up, it's supposed to be one of those sentimental things, and it's like, now we're just two strangers, and it's like, oh, you want a real quote, fuck that bitch. And it's usually some guy like lifting not in a ridiculous amount of weight. Like I've seen Pete lift more weight in most of his videos than these guys, and they're like super tough ones, but it's a fun trend. And it's like, oh, I would love to do that. However, there are certain DMs that some people could just release that would ruin the whole like fuck that bitch vibe. What would be the worst DM leak you could have if you were trying to be like, oh, I'm a tough guy? Like, what would be your undoing? We'll start with you, Pete.
Peter.
God, what do you like?
All right. So for instance, like for me, if I had posted that video,
You're asking the wrong guy.
It'd be like me doing comedy. I'm giving the other guy time to think about it, Pat, because I feel like he's definitely gonna have a real good answer. That's
Why no? But Pete,
No, I definitely want to like.
I mean, Pete's a super strong guy who's gay, and like most people would think, oh, that's wrong. Pete's already proven against all these things. Like Pete is very comfortable in himself and super. There's nothing that Pete can. What can Pete put out? There's
right.
nothing.
Okay, but hang on. Like, so for instance, for me, right?
If
It
Pete,
would be like
okay,
a
you know what?
picture-
For Pete, it would be like that he's a huge fan of boy bands.
Well, let's let Pete answer, but I'll give him my example. It's fine. It's fine. But like, it would be like, all right, for instance, it could be like me doing comedy. It would be like, now we're just two distant strangers, but once, if we meet again, we'll have different memories or something like that. And then it's like, oh, but fuck that bitch. And it would be like me doing stand up. And then somebody could just post a DM underneath it where it'd be like, hey, I miss you. I haven't laughed since you left. Please come back. And it would be like, oh, so he's really not over that bitch. Like, what would be your undoing? Like, what would you post? Like, what trend would you hop on that you would then hop off of?
But you mentioned that every week on here.
It happens a lot. It happens frequently, quite frequently. Sometimes they respond. Sometimes they're like, I don't understand why you keep sending me fire emojis after my apartment burned down and everything died. And you're like, I was just trying to cheer you up. And then they're like, if you can't be there for me when I came out of the closet, don't celebrate my lows with me. And you're like, I asked people if I was gay because I fucked at them now. That seems like celebrating to me. Anyway, Pete, we're far from.
But now I'm more fucking confused than I was before.
I don't know.
I don't understand it. I'm so
J.K. Rowling again. No.
Like something I said that someone could blackmail me with? Like what?
I don't know. Like, what's the most embarrassing DM you've ever sent? We'll just rephrase the question that way.
By the way, real quick, I think you started a new trend that I want to happen, Bobby. Instead of the Rick roll, the J.K. Rowling, where you tell a story and then at the end you just go J.K. Rowling and just
run away. All right, Brandon, how about you? We'll let Pete think about it.
Mine's probably just trying to fuck someone I shouldn't have tried to fuck.
like Betty White.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to think of something maybe from the past because like these days I shit, like fucking J.K. Rowling right in her butt.
She is fun.
She's gonna be the new Betty White. Is she still alive?
Yeah, she is. That could
yeah,
be a good
she's
one.
not beloved anymore.
Hang on a second though. I do feel like we need to dig into Pete's a little bit.
I was one of just throwing out there.
Sending a message to somebody I shouldn't have tried to fuck. Hey, bud. I imagine 9th grade's tough.
Wow, I gotta be a pedophile now, goddammit.
That's what we're asking. Why do you got to be a pedophile? Well, I guess we know what Pete's not going to have on his dinner later.
Yeah.
Taking 2022 with some badass Jew. That's their new saying. Or any other sauces. Get them there. Use the promo code POS and save 50%. And make sure it's been a week away. Make sure you give Jeff a happy birthday anyway, a belated one, because we're happy that he's around making sauces. Pete, I don't care who you message. If you message someone for some fucking and they say no, they're a loser in my book. They should have sex with you. You're a fucking charming individual. Brandon,
I don't really know. I feel like it's been so long since I've even tried to like date somebody.
No. This would be about dating.
I don't know. Maybe
I think with you it'd be like if we found out you were a huge Trump supporter.
Yeah, that'd be kind of weird.
Like, you know, or you wear a mask as soon as the camera comes on.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. That if you had like evidence of me like wearing a mask or something, you know, then it wasn't like a life-threatening situation, or I wasn't like standing a wall.
Constantly wearing a mask in fear.
Yeah, that would be something I'd probably be a little concerned with. But yeah, other than that, I mean, you know, you see what you get with me these days. I mean, you can read a book that I wrote. If you go to shadowworked.com, Shadowworked, you can get my book. And I talk a lot about how I was had severe intimacy issues that were expressing themselves in what people would call a sex addict, and I was just banging everything. But it's nigh been 3
Except
years.
for Pete. Pete sent you that one message and you wouldn't do it.
No, Pete was always a gentleman.
A scholar.
But yeah, no, my affliction was with women, I think. But I think I figured it all out. So now
mine too. That's why I started banging dudes.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Well, see, everyone's got their own, you know.
I mean, this is your best game yet.
Life path. The shit we fucking went through. So yeah, man. But yeah, so I'm looking for a wife. So if there's any potential wives out there, hit me up. Looking to have some kids and build a family. Let's do it. Yeah.
Two little warlocks running around.
I'll trade some goats for land.
Exactly. Oh yeah. Let's
Single
get some goats
white
going. We'll do
Ron
homestead.
Weasley looking for his Mrs. Weasley. To start
Exactly.
a
I'm
family
looking for
with
a
lots
witch.
of little Weasleys running around.
I need a
Brandon,
Wiccan
just
witch.
joke because I am completely terrified of you. So please do not text me.
Oh, I'm unoffendable. It's fine.
Good.
I really get mad. Sometimes Pat's seen me get mad, but it's usually over, you know, it's hard for you to do.
It's very hard. And
If you
then
were stopping me.
it also just goes away. Literally, he's fuming, and then he's like, "You want to get food?" I'm like, "Yeah."
That'd be the most terrifying thing for me. I'd just be like, "You good the whole time, dude?"
I've seen
I'm
it happen
like,
once or twice.
This is the way I describe myself. You know, you're familiar with like a psychopath. I'm like a psychopath, but I'm like a good psychopath. Like I have no ill will or, but I could, if I had to, probably kill somebody easily if I had
That's
to.
also
but
how all
I have
psychopaths define
no
themselves.
reason to.
I do it right. I'm
I'm the good one.
helping everything. It's like a heckler.
I have
Like,
no
I'm helping
urges
the
to
act.
like kill. I'm more like, yeah. I have this because I always used to have a lot of rage inside me, but now I've learned to like focus it, kind of like the Incredible Hulk, I guess. So I can use it and it comes out in a situation where I think it's right, and then it just kind of goes away. I don't really hold a grudge, because I think I see people's reasonings for why they do it, and I empathize with people so easily, so I could just kind of let it go.
That's
Life's too short,
probably
man.
much more emotionally healthy than me. I respect that.
Except for the part where it's Incredible Hulk. Like,
I've done a lot of
a pretty good Hulk. I don't know about incredible.
The decent Hulk.
a decent Hulk.
The mediocre at best Hulk. I would watch the decent Hulk a million times.
Oh yeah.
You wouldn't
Brandon
like
Banner?
me when I'm indifferent.
Meh.
You wouldn't like me when I'm whatever.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Or hang on, real quick. This is a fun path to explore. What if instead of when he got angry, he turned into a Hulk, it was he got horny, and then he could just never bust the nut
Nice.
every time he gets angry. Oh god damn it! And that's why he's destroying everything.
He
I need to
turns
fuck.
blue, not green, because like his balls are blue.
Blue balls.
The Incredible Cuck.
Hulk no smash.
Incredible.
I think you just make him black, and until he sees a black woman, and he goes, "You won't like me when I'm hangry." He's always mad and hungry.
It's a Snickers commercial. You could probably make $1 million, sell that one to him.
The Incredible Cook. It's just a big old black woman named Joe Cook.
The Incredible
Pretty-
Snack.
He just turns into the Aunt Jemima bottle.
R.I.P. Aunt Jemima. R.I.P.
Now I want some pancakes.
See, the things that would come out about me, I joke about things on stage, and they're not all 100% real because I make fun of myself. Like, I've dated people that got upset at me when they found out I actually liked to have sex doggy style with them. They're like, I thought you were just vanilla. I go, it's just funny to say on stage. I actually do like trying other things. They're like, oh, you're lying. I'm talking about, I don't really talk about my sex in life. Like, so it'd be the dumbest things that like I'm really afraid of feet. Like, I'm not afraid of a foot. Yeah, I don't want to ever suck on one, but if your foot comes near me, I don't run away and cry. It's a goddamn foot. Who gives a shit? It's the little things like that would really come out. People give me shit for, like the fact that I'm saying right now, I really don't care about Betty White. I'm not mad. I feel bad when anyone dies, but they get mad at that. That's my dumb shit because I make some certain jokes.
Makes sense.
How about you?
Me?
Yeah.
It'd be like just a therapist being like, hey, you've made a lot of progress. Stop posting things like this.
Dude, if that came out, you went to therapy after all the fucking shit.
Yeah, that would be the worst for me. I mean, it's definitely not true.
Or like your NA guy is like, Bobby, you haven't smoked like in 10 years. What is this act?
Why are you doing this? Yeah.
Bobby, what's with the tits in the background? You've been gay the whole time.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no. Not that thing that makes people happy. No.
Oh no.
No, Brandon. No more Indian voice for you. You're doing well. Should we do one more?
Say, Bobby, I do tarot reading. So, and it's in that vein of like emotional health or self-healing or whatever, all that stuff. So if you ever want a reading, let me know.
Dude, I want to do a reading on here. I want you to do a reading for us. Can we do it on here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely want to set that podcast up.
Better. It works better one-on-one. So like if I was doing it, I would say just me and the person talking.
I would just sit here and observe. I want you to do it to Bobby.
Yeah.
And then I would observe, then we chat about it.
Yeah,
I would
that's
say
totally cool. We could totally do that.
I feel like you've definitely studied tarot more than most like therapists have studied therapy. Like I would definitely
I've also
trust you
studied
much more.
Yeah, like the names, like you say, like Freud, like Carl Jung, a lot of these people, and not only them
Human
directly, but there's
and all that. Yeah, definitely.
Well, there's other people that took up their work, that the work was kind of like pushed to the side because, I kind of believe we live in a civilization where we're like kind of like debt slaves, and it started with schools and all this stuff, and we're always taught to hate ourselves and all this stuff. So there's people who were like against
No one
that,
taught
but
me
it was
that.
pushed to the side because exactly. And so all these people, whatever, they did all this work, and I came upon this work, what they learned too, and it was simplified, and I'm able to simplify it even further for people. So it's pretty cool if you're interested. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I was able to put it on top of the tarot because of the symbolism that's in there. Yeah, it's usually pretty cool.
All right, I'm gonna do one more story, and we'll get out of here.
And sounds good, Brandon. We kind of lost you at the end. We weren't ignoring what you were saying. Your internet broke up.
We cut out a little
I
bit.
Trailed off anyway.
That's right. We all do.
Yeah. How much Wi-Fi does a warlock have? Fix it. Come on.
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi stands for wizard fiber. All right. A 20-year-old man died when he jumped a subway turnstile in Queens on Sunday and broke his neck, landing on a cement floor, cops said. The man was attempting to evade the fare at the Forest Hills 71st Ave train station around 6:45 a.m. When he hopped the turnstile, a police spokesman said. He came crashing on his head on the station's cement floor and broke his neck. Cops and sources said he was pronounced dead on the scene. The man's identity was not immediately released. The station provided EFM&R line service. Who's the piece of shit in this story? Is it this man for trying to avoid a fare? Listen, you don't always have the money. You're thinking it's a fucking dumb system. They make lots of money. He's just trying to rush. It's the morning. He's being a little ballsy. He jumps. He doesn't realize the amazing ability or not amazing, depending how you put it. He's over jumping it so much. I don't know why he went head first. Who's doing a fucking head dive over a turnstile? Was he going to go into a fucking somersault? I don't understand. You would think you would just jump the other way. I don't know. Is it the transit station? Is it the subways for charging people? Listen, people are dying of COVID. I know you got to make money, and you say it's ridiculous, but the world would be easier if we didn't charge. You have something different. The turnstiles are out. We've changed everything in the world. You don't need spinning doors or turnstiles. Just have something you pass by with a wrist thing and go beep, and you're all good. Some shit like that. Is it the cops for pronouncing him dead? Why can't they pronounce the word dead? Why do we have to report that? It's dead. It's very easy to say. Or is it me for telling that joke because I didn't have a third thing? Bobby, go first.
Oh, for me, it's so all right. Is
it the cement floor?
No, it's who wrote this story?
Tina Moore.
It's Ina Moore.
No, Tina.
It's Tina. Like, we also had a similar situation, right? The VFW was collecting toys for tots and somebody tried to rob it. And then he fell and got hurt real bad. And it had nothing to do with all the former Marines and military people in the place. Like, something definitely other than this person jumping over a turnstile and breaking his neck happened in this story. It's either a completely fake story that they're putting out there to try to get people to stop jumping the turnstile, or somebody got their ass kicked and they're covering it up going, oh, he jumped a turnstile and broke his neck and got stabbed in 19 places. Like, it's clearly Tina for not doing enough research. Something bigger is going on here.
And now when I just clicked her link to see her other stories, it's a lot like this. Like, one headline is Jewish man says he was slugged in Brooklyn for wearing Israeli military hoodie. Like, the NYP directive to record race, gender during traffic stops sparks officer concerns. It's all just like weird, clickbaity, not real shit.
Man has stroke while shoplifting.
Harlem cop shot. No shit. He's in Harlem.
Yeah, it's like a bunch of he's full of shit.
Pete.
I never go by what we said. I'm going with the guy, just because I saw a fucking dude with one leg jump the turnstile and was fine. So if you're a 20-year-old and you jump the turnstile and you die, and that is what happened, yeah, fuck you. You should be dead.
Yeah,
You don't
I get if this happened at 3:45 a.m. I'd be like, he was hammered, he was doing dumb shit, he died. It's 6.
I don't even care if you were hammered. I've fallen down the fucking stairs drunk and like not fucking died.
Yeah, but you don't have a neck.
You were also trying to die.
One of those things.
At 6:45 a.m. That's going to work time. You shouldn't be leaping fucking turnstiles and then doing it such a bad dismount. You landed on your head. Your head. Like, I don't know if everyone knows what a turnstile is. They're a little tall, but they're not tall enough where you're going for this fucking over the top, like, 4th and 1. Let's go over the fucking offensive line to score a touchdown. Why are you going head first?
He was trying to feel like he was a badass, trying to like parkour or some shit, clip his toe.
He tried to Greg Louganis the shit out of it. Don't do that. Brandon?
I like this. I definitely agree with Bobby. I like the way you think. I'm totally agreement with that. But if it is a real story, because that could happen, right? I guess it's possible. If it did happen, I would say it's the dude, the fucking 20-year-old. Yeah, when I was 20, I was in the Marines falling down shit and hitting my head and fucking, it's like, come on, you can't fucking manage a turnstile. I don't know.
Well, there is
Maybe
a PS in the article where it says, "PS, he was unvaccinated." ...
Oh. Well, they did say he.
I was just gonna say.
So he died of COVID. All right.
I was gonna say it too. God damn it.
I was gonna blame it on vaccines. I was like, maybe you should stop taking so many vaccines and you won't be like so susceptible.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
If he had a booster chair, not a booster shot, he would have made it over the goddamn turnstile. Brandon, Pete, thank you so much for coming on. Brandon, where can people follow you, check you out, all that fun stuff?
Well, if you want to check me out, the best place to go is my website, morelawsmoreproblems.com. That's where you can find everything. My latest show is the Over Sharon Show, a show I do with my friend Sharon, and it's really good. Last episode, we just did a holiday episode. We talked about everything we were thankful for since basically the 2020 shutdown. So instead of bitching about things, we just talked about all the thankful things and the good things that came about it. Nice. So it was pretty cool. But mostly we talk about drugs, and she just did mushrooms for the first time, so it's a pretty interesting podcast.
Oh, cool!
Sounds fun.
Yeah,
the mushrooms or the podcast?
The podcast, just in general. Like, yeah, it seems like a good concept, and like if you were trying to dip your toes into some of those fields, it's a great way to start. Like, you don't necessarily have to do like research. It's going to be fun and presented in a fun way.
Yeah, you dip your toe. You don't jump over the turnstile. You know what I mean? You go in soft.
And it's funny because she's in her early 40s. She's a widow. That's not funny, but
it's hilarious. Her husband's dead. All right, Aunt Marge.
He jumped the turnstile.
He shouldn't have. I was gonna say is, and she basically grew up like in a born again Christian cult, almost like. So like she's grew up under a rock basically. Now she looks at the world almost the same way I do now. So it's really crazy because I talk about all these things in my life, all this craziness that happened. And she like talks about the first experience, like the first time she ever tried weed was like a couple months ago. It was crazy. So,
oh, nice.
Very interesting stuff. Yeah.
That sounds fun. Pete.
Metal Pete Comedy on Instagram, Pete Angelo 13 on Twitter. It's usually where I'll post what upcoming shows I have. I also have a movie podcast, Pete and Sally Do the Cinema. You can find on Spotify.
Bobby.
Check out the Eastside Dave Show with Roy Harder every Tuesday at 7:30 on Compound Media. While you're there, check out some other fun stuff. Since we last talked, how could you forget 2021 has been posted? That's right. Everybody's favorite hit game show is back. We had some fun guests like Zia and Bobo. I know those are two big draws, so check it out. Also, check out A Very Bobby Christmas while you're there. Follow me on Twitter. You know all that shit. Pat?
I'm going to ask one thing of you, Bobby, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a correction to how we start our show from now on.
Okay.
I'm going to ask that we no longer call it the Pat Oates Show.
POS show. Got
I have kind of made that clear. But this is not the Pat Oates show. This is the POS show. You and I are equal in every way, shape, and form. And every time it says that, it seems like that. And I can always admit to when I'm beaten. You are more of the more lovable one of the two of us.
Dude, I don't know about that.
Oh, Bobby, even if you are hated, you're Stalin to my Hitler. Like, you might have gotten more kills, but I get the bigger heat. You know what I mean? Like, so what I'm saying is this. If we put it out on Twitter and they say, oh, it's the Pat Oates show, people go, ugh. They go, it's POS with Bobby Tamburo. They're like, Bobby knows people we like, and then they watch it. And that's what we need. But also, more importantly, I like the name of being that, not me. So when we start the show from now on, I'd like you to say it's the POS show.
I'm going to try, but who knows how many drugs I'll do before the
That's
next
okay.
podcast.
Because according to the person that just commented on YouTube, who watched us only for Andy when he was on last week, they said, well, it doesn't really matter what you guys say because you only get 12 views a fucking show anyway. So even if you suck, who would know? Thanks, guy or lady, whoever the fuck you are. But no one can ever just say, hey, new to the show. And by the way, shout out to Adam Parisi, who we brought up last week. Remember, Bobby? I was the one person I said was actually a magician who is funny. So,
Yeah.
So he liked that we posted it, the show, and I said, oh, by the way, you get a shout out in this. He watched it. He joined on the Patreon right away to watch it first, and then said, but just let the Bobby know that I don't have to hide the dead bodies. My wife's cool with them. It was very funny. So that's cool, Adam. Thank you.
I love Adam. Adam's a great dude.
I was singing his praises because Adam is one of the nicest guys, but usually comedic magicians are like creeps, and Adam's one of the nicest guys.
They make you think they're this nice, fun, friendly guy who tells jokes and does a little magic. That's what they do. That's the persona they set up for themselves.
All right, I'm going to say something, Bobby. It's even
fucking your girlfriend.
No,
go ahead, Pat.
But Bobby, this guy's so good. Here, he did something no magician would ever do. For a year, he booked a comedy show where he wasn't performing, and he just had a venue that he made sure so other comics could get gigs. And it was inside a cupcake shop, and it was fucking awesome. And he would put it on. He would get all his friends that were fans of comedy, never went to comedy show, went to his shows, and come out and support and learn about comedy. Like, the dude is just a fucking great dude. So yeah, he must kill people, but like,
yeah. And I'm sure he just wasn't throwing that so he could selectively pick out all of your girlfriends and decide which one to steal.
That's not everyone. That's Pennsylvania magicians.
Yamish.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
And subscribe to the YouTube or join the Patreon. Either way, we're happy that you're there. Please join us and all that stuff. We appreciate you. It's those $3 a month. We didn't do a big ad for them, but always support Silk City Hot Sauce because they always support us. They've got tons of new sauces coming out. Lots of great things there. I know the Christmas is over and you think the gift giving season is over, but maybe you didn't get anyone a gift and you're like, fuck, I should have got them something because you went to work right before the holiday ended and you didn't think anyone was going to get you anything and someone gave you like a Dunkin' Donuts gift card. You're like, motherfucker, I didn't think Steve was going to get me anything. And that fucking asshole, even if it's only $5, I got to do something. You got to one-up him. You go to SilkCityHotSauce.com, use promo code POS. You buy him a couple bottles of hot sauce. Maybe he's a Jew and not tough. You give him some badass Jew, and he's like, was this about me? It's like, well, it could be if you were tough. You give him that. It's a little joke. You're fine. Get him some sauces. Feel good about yourself and save some money using the promo code POS. Brandon, Pete, thank you so much for being on. R.I.P. Aunt Marge and Bobby.
Thank you.
Remember, don't be a piece of shit.
Fuck you, Betty White.